Hello, welcome to the App Code blog on YouTube. Today we're going to continue our series on building a tab bar application. If you haven't been following along and you need to get the code to start off with, you can get it at www.theappcodeblog.com/code/helloworld-tab3.zip, and that'll give you the code that we will be starting with today. So I have it here. I'm going to go ahead and fire it up. And we're going to jump right in. The first thing we need to do is open up our main window nib file in Interface Builder. And we are going to be adding a navigation controller and a navigation bar to the top of our second tab. Our second tab is this green tab, and right now there's no navigation controller associated with it, so there's no navigation bar. In order to do that, we want to go into our document window, select Tab Bar Controller, go to the Attributes Inspector, and here where it says green, change it from View Controller to Navigation Controller. And that adds this navigation bar to the top of our green view. Now, after we've changed that, we have to dig back into that navigation controller and find our view controller and go ahead and set that back to our green view so that we will see it. So we're going to set the nib to the green view and go to the Identity Inspector and set it to Green View Controller. That way we'll see our green view on our second tab along with our navigation bar. Alright, all set there. Now we're going to go into our Green View Controller implementation file, and the first thing I want to do is I'm going to set the title of our view to green. By default, it would just say item there, but I'd rather have it say something we want it to say. So I'm going to set it to green. Now, while we're here in the ViewDidLoad method, I'm going to, this is where we'll add the button to the navigation bar. And it's going to be of type UIBarButtonItem, so we're going to go ahead and create that. And we'll just name it Next Button. And we need to alloc and init that, so we'll go ahead and alloc it, and then we're going to init with title, and the title is going to be next, so that's what's going to show up on the button, just the word next. Now we want to set a style, and we have some built-in styles that we can use, and for this one we're just going to use the bordered style. You can experiment with those and see what different styles you like. But for our purposes, we'll just set it to bordered. Target will be self, and action will be the action that gets called when someone selects that button. So we do selector, and then here is the name of the action that will get called, and we're just going to name it go to next view, and we will have to implement that action ourselves. Alright, so that creates the button, and now we need to add that button to the navigation bar. So we do self.navigationItem, and we're going to add it to the right side of the bar, so right bar button item, and we'll just put that equal to our next button. And that takes care of that. Now this action that we need to implement, this go to next view, let's go ahead and set that up here. That doesn't need to return anything, so we can just set that to void. And while we're at it, let's go ahead and declare that in our header file as well. Just like that. Now, what's going to happen in this next go to next view action is we're going to push a new view into place to replace that green view that we have. But we haven't created that view yet, so we need to go ahead and do that. So let's go right click on resources, add new file, and we're going to create a new nib file. So we'll select view xib, and we're going to name it green view 2, and then we want to create a view controller for that. So select UI view controller subclass, and we're going to name that green view 2 controller. Now we want to link those up, so let's open up our green view 2 in Interface Builder here, and in the document window select Files Owner. go to the identity inspector and link it to green view to controller. And then we also have to link our views up. And while we're here, let's set the background to another color green. Just like that. Okay, we've got those linked up. Now let's go ahead and set the title for that new view that we just created. So let's find the viewDidLoad method. And in there, let's just set the title to, say, green 2. Just like that. Okay, now let's go back and hash out that go to next view method that we had in the green view controller implementation class. So first, we have to go to the header file, and we're going to import that new view controller we just created, and then we're going to declare an instance variable of it. And then we're going to set its properties. Okay, after we've got that set up, let's go to the implementation file. And again, we want to import that into this file as well. And then we're going to synthesize that variable we just created in the header file. And finally, we're going to go work on this go to next view action. And down here, we're going to create a temporary variable that will alloc and init, and then we're going to set that temporary variable to the instance variable we created in the header file. So let's go ahead and create this temporary variable, and I'll just name it temp. And it needs to be a green view 2 controller, and just need to alloc and init with nib name, and the name of that nib is green view 2. I'm going to set our bundle and this bundle, main bundle. And now we want to set our instance variable to this temp variable. So we can just get that. And set it to our temp. And then after we've done that, we can go ahead and release temp from memory. Okay, we've got one more thing to do here. We need to actually push that view into place. So get a pointer to the navigation controller, and it has a method called pushViewController that will take our view controller that we created, and we're going to say animate yes, and that's just about do it. So now let's go ahead and build and run and find out if I forgot anything here. Alright, go to our green view. We see here's our next button that we created and added to our navigation bar. We select that, we get our new green view. And it automatically, the navigation bar automatically gives us this back button to the previous view. And whatever we had named this view, that would show up on this back button. Alright, that does it for today. I hope you found this helpful, and if you want to find more tutorials, you can come visit me at theappcodeblog.com. We have almost 50 tutorials on there, a lot of them with more advanced topics than this, but come and visit me. Thanks a lot.